thank you especially to the residents of Chester.
Hurrah!
Thank you, Celine Mayfield. I want to thank everybody who's here today, because the reason we're here is because we're standing united. All the Delaware River communities are saying the same thing. No LNG.
Hell no.
We don't want it in Chester. We don't want it in Delaware County. We don't want it in Marcus Hook. We don't want it in Philadelphia. We don't want it in Eastwick. We don't want it anywhere in the Delaware River watershed, period. United is the only way we're going to win, not by shoving it off to somebody else like the task force was trying to do here to Chester. So to speak to that, we have a few different speakers from a few different groups. We want to represent our other wonderful representative, Hohenstein, who is serving on this task force.
He's been an advocate for us.
He's an advocate for us. He's with the 177th district and is here to say no LNG. Thank you.
Thank you, Tracy. And yeah, I'll hold Carol's beer when she gets here. And Carol is here yet?
Go ahead,
right. Come on up, Carol. This is your show. I am simply going to say, there's a Quaker phrase, that friend speaks my mind. And Carol, as my friend and colleague in the legislature, speaks my mind. Celine Mayfield spoke my mind. Mr. Roots, Mayor-elect Roots, spoke my mind today. And I got onto this commission specifically because I was worried about my neighborhoods in Philadelphia, which 6 miles along the river up there too. And I realized Port Richmond's concerns are Chester's concerns.
Yeah.
Marcus Hook's concerns are Bridesburg's concerns. We all share the same river, and those of us who live upstream have a responsibility to everyone along the river, but especially to those who are in this neighborhood who have become the target of this proposal. And for that, all I'm going to do right now is cede the floor to my honorable colleague and friend, Carol Kazim.
Thank you, Representative Holstein, and thank you to the community and for everybody that showed up and showed out today.
Yes.
The community, the voices were heard today. I know many people have received robocalls from me. It's no secret that I have already delivered a testimony myself for another LNG hearing back in Philadelphia, and I stated to the task force then that if we're going to discuss the city of Chester, we need to be here in the city of Chester. So I do want to thank my colleague, Representative Holstein, as well, for sitting on that task force, and a lot of times honestly hearing things that he may not want to hear or not being able to even be agreed upon despite, you know, the numbers and not being able to have that much support. Also, I just want to thank my councilman, Mr. Roots here, the other testifier, Ms. Celine Mayfield, come up here. I think her speaking alone had already let them know what I had mentioned last time. And I told them that, you know, you're going to be met with opposition. You're going to be met with things like this. And this is something that they're not used to. And this is why it's important for the city of Chester, for the community, for Delaware County to always come out, to speak up and to be around and to make sure you're being heard and to ask questions. Because there are questions that I have already asked and answers that still need to be delivered. So I have sent homework with individuals that's on the task force to still come back and let me know, what would this look like for the city of Chester? What would it look like for the residents? What would it look like revenue? What would it look like for the other businesses that we are yet trying to attract? It's no secret that the city of Chester is under bankruptcy, but I want to see economic development coming in a place where we can see affordable homes, where we can see more supermarkets, when we're looking at our food security. Those are the things that's a problem to. The things when it comes to our school district. We heard in there a testimony where they talked about the revenue. What would that look like for real estate? The numbers that's supposed to go back to our school district. Yes, there's no secret. There's also a need there too. But there are children that are also in those type of schools are still dealing with asbestos. So when we're bringing in industries like this, my question is always going to be, what would that look like for the health and for the well-being of the residents? I have not put out a public stance on whether I'm supportive of LNG or not, but it is no secret that I am not happy about an LNG coming in this community, especially with everything else that we have already adjacent on that waterfront. It is no secret. However, my task as a legislator, like my colleague here, is to hear the voices and the concerns of the resident. And I just want you to know that I heard each and every one of you.
Hear, hear.
I heard each and every one of you. And this is just all I wanted. I wanted you guys to come in so I could just get a confirmation.
Hear, hear.
So I got my confirmation. So thank you to the community for showing up and for letting us know. My job, I'm going to continue to be educated. I'm going to continue to keep hearing every voice and concerns. I am not an environmentalist, but I know that there are people that have been fighting this for a long time that can educate me on this. And I am the type that's going to go read and do my homework. So that is something that I'm going to continue to pledge to do. And with my colleague here, we're going to continue to fight on the state side to make sure that industries like this, no matter whether it's in Chester, whether it's not in Philadelphia, because a lot of them that's on the task force represent Philadelphia. And Philadelphia, I'm sure, was here to represent, to let them know what they may not want in their community too. So thank you also to our neighbors for showing out today, because they heard you too, because we know these things are already existing in their community. So like I said, I'm just here as a legislator to be there for you. I said it before in the meeting, you guys did not vote me in for me to sit on my behind. So I am going to be out here every step of the way, advocating with you, being there to support you, and I can guarantee you in Harrisburg as well, my representative here is definitely advocating. So he always let me know what's going on with the task force as far as hearings that's supposed to be met, and he's always advocating, whether it's Philadelphia, Chester. So I thank him for all of the support that he's been doing. And to Mr. Councilman Roots, once again, I heard you, because I know you and I have to work hand in hand together moving forward next year. So now I know his stance also on it. So again, to the community, thank you for all of everything you guys been doing. And trust and believe me when I say I heard every one of your concerns. And I will continue to still speak up for each and every one of you. Thank you.
Love you. I'm going to hear from Celine Mayfield, the founder and the ongoing light that guides Circle.
Wow. First of all, I'm tired. I was up at 3 o'clock in the morning writing this testimony. We are Circle. We are Chester. We are residents. We are a representation of everything good in our communities. We carry the hopes of they have had 4 hearings and they've never allowed a community person to speak. They've shot my name off of the docket as many times as they possibly could. I guess they had no other choice. So, the other day when I was trying to write what I wanted to say, it was really heavy on my heart because I felt the weight of my community. I felt the optimism, I felt the hope.
There you go.
I felt the visions that we have for our community. I felt what we want to project onto our children and our grandchildren. And I'm telling you now, it was a heavy lift. It was heavy. And then I started thinking about, the people in Delaware County who also could not be in the room or have a seat at the table. And, it was immensely heavy. And I had my little cry. And then I had to go in the spirit of my ancestors.
All right.
Shake.
My mother, her mother, the men, my father, all of those ancestors who hold us up on their shoulders. My father used to have a saying, he used to say that our job is to advance the next generation.
That's right.
And I believe that more now, at any time that I have in my life. If we cannot protect our home, what good are we? If we cannot protect our children, what good are we? There are people that don't give a rat's behind about us. If you go out there and kick a dog, you're gonna have 30, 40 people want you behind in jail.
That's true.
But they are environmentally assaulting us every single day, and there's no cry for our children. There's no cry from them. Why? Because they're capitalists. They don't give a damn who they hurt, kill, maim, hinder, as long as they can make $1. You know, you heard the man say he was a millionaire, but he retired. You know, money and power and money. It goes hand in hand. And you know, and don't make no mistake about it. I could have pointed it out. It was an observation that didn't even need to be noted. You have all of those people in the task force. They all Caucasian. Ain't none of them from this community. And I cannot tell you the countless amount of times that occurs when people are making decisions about us and we ain't even in the room. Y'all saw me carry that chair. I carried their chair for a reason. For actually 2 reasons. Because I've been known to cut a fool. But also I carried it, you know, as a historical marker of who we are as a people. You know, and it came from a quote, you know, Shirley Chisholm said, if they don't make you a seat at the table, then you take a folding chair. Okay? You take a folding chair. But you take your lead at that chair. This is our community. They are talking about displacing members of our community. 120 some houses, 4 churches, a freaking daycare, and businesses. And we say a big hell no. We say that we have the power to stop it. This thing today was an exercise in that power.
That's right.
That's all it was. That's all it was. We put out the back call and many people showed up. And our allies showed up. And their allies showed up. Because we are all in this in solidarity. All of us. You know, across this country they are hurting Black and brown and indigenous people and those of us who are not economically well. Our white brothers and sisters in communities that they are decimating. And I'm telling you, we all can do something about it.
That's America.
Understand, they left the hell here shook. Understand that. Understand, it wasn't what they expected. You know, people think they're gonna come into your community and give you smoke and mirrors and throw up millions of dollars. We don't give a damn about no millions if we can't breathe.
Amen.
That's right.
If we can't breathe. So you take the millions to your wife. And I mean every word of that. Because we're okay. So, you know, as Circle, and let me say the name of this organization again, Chester Residents Concerned for Quality Living.
You're here.
We don't back down. We ain't scared. And you damn sure can't buy us.
That's right.
And we will stay on this battlefield for however long it takes.
Yes.
And when I'm not here, it's going to be somebody else.
Yes.
And it's going to be somebody else until we eradicate our community from things that want to kill us.
That's
Period.
right.
Thank you.
We're next going to hear from City Councilman Stefan Roots, the nominee, and I would say mayor-elect of Chester.
What we saw today demonstrates the new Chester. People came out for a cause that's really important to them. I've been saying for years that Chester's only issue is that we don't do a good job with reputation management. We get banged and hit and accused of and blamed for so many things. But what you saw today is a demonstration of the new Chester, of the Chester fighting back, of the Chester representing itself. Not just screaming and hollering, but with intelligence and purpose. I am a city councilman in the city of Chester. The buck stops here. All right? We can fight all this on the front end, but when it all comes down to it, There's going to be an ordinance, a resolution, a policy, a procedure that's going to be in front of me and my colleagues. And we're going to have to vote. So I hope you got a good sense of how Chester's going to vote in the future for what they tried to present today. We're an industrial town. Industry loves water. We started out as an agricultural community. Small industry came through. Small businesses thrived. And now it's time to do it all over again. We can rethink this whole city and what it means to the county and what it means to the state. I wasn't happy with what I heard today from how they wanted to represent Chester to the state. I think it really came down to jobs. I always questioned when these people approached me about this project. The question I always ask is, well, how many jobs will it be? And I've heard all kind of answers. Well, today I heard the answer. 204 jobs here in the city of Chester. And it will be represented by people with some knowledge and some skills and some certification, of which they did not measure in terms of Chester people, but by county people. 24% of the people in county are already qualified to work here. But we care about the city of Chester. How many of our people are ready for this type of work? It's not coming. It's not going to happen. We heard from the guy from FERC testify to let you know how tough this process is. There's already projects approved through FERC that haven't been built yet. There's already projects that have been approved by FERC that don't have the money to build yet, which basically means we're not even in this queue yet.
Yeah.
The chances of these new facilities coming on lessens the need for a new facility to come on the back end. I think it's a ridiculous project that these guys are trying to push through because of the likelihood that it will ever happen. Because of the fact that, what did they say? 8, 6, 12 years before the thing will ever be built. World economy will change. The gas needs in the country will change. The gas needs in the world will change. But what's not going to change is that Chester is going to change for the better. We can't wait for that. We have to do something now. So that's what I represent, the new Chester. The people in Chester have voted for a change in city government in a big way. I've got one of my new city council persons who's going to be coming on board real soon behind me. We took out the entire old guard, who, from what I understand, was in support of this project. So, again, I know for a lot of people, this is new. This is a new optic. Get used to it. Chester's going to show up and show out.
Showing up and showing out. Well, the next one that's going to do that is Big and Dre from Chester.
Give yourself a round of applause. You could have been a lot of places. All right? Give yourself a round of applause. You could have been a lot of places. And we want to stay here, okay? First and foremost, I like to say that charity starts at home. And home is not necessarily where you live. It's in your heart, right? And as a native of the city of Chester, I care about the people of this city. I have family members, right? This industry proposes a threat to our health. It reduces the quality of our living, and it prevents the productive progression of our youth. The youth are the future. So one important thing that I noticed that was overlooked is that the dollars were prioritized, but the quality of life and the health of the people were minimized. Our representative, Councilman Roots, he spoke about it's 35,000 people roughly in the city of Chester. This city is 5-mile radius. We have all of these capitalistic industries that are here that are dumping on our community. However, what is giving us something that is essential? What is essential is life. Essential is food, water, and shelter. Our representative also talked about how we start off as an agricultural community. We want to go back to green, but we don't want to have something that's counterproductive. So again, I want you to think about these people who are coming into our community, and you look at this panel, I didn't see diversity of the people who were investing into this particular capitalist project. They don't have any investment inside the people. The power is ours. So I want to encourage everyone to fight against this capitalistic industry that doesn't have the best interests of the people, and I'll land there.
Thank you.
Thank you. And to show the solidarity that I mentioned at the top, We have people here from Philadelphia as well who came down to support Circle and Chester and everybody here to show a united front. So I'd like to introduce to you the Shamar Pitts from Philly Thrive.
Thank you. So today, it's the first time I was at a hearing like this today. It was a heck of an experience. And this is the reason, it just reminded me of the reasons why I come out and I'm on the front line for cities like Chester. Because it's people like me that live in Chester. And people like me, they're not talking about us when they talking about the economic developments and all how the money gonna be made. They're not talking about us. They're not talking about our schools when they say money gonna go to education. We know for a fact our schools always get the short end of the stick when it comes to money trickling down to black and brown schools. We know that in Philadelphia. We know that in Chester. We know that. So they're not talking about us with all the economic enrichments. They talking about the people that was on that panel. That's who going to benefit from the economics and all that stuff when it come to that. Now, we're going to get on the LNG and this whole thing about LNG. First of all, let's make no mistake about it. Fossil fuels is big business in Pennsylvania. And that's what the issue is. There's a lot of money to be made in fossil fuel industry in Pennsylvania. And why? Why? Because like they said, we could outsource it to the whole world, right? Why they want to put it in Chester? Why they want to pile it on us?
Why is that?
Why they want to contaminate us? Because they don't care about us. So all that stuff about how we going to benefit economically and all of that, think about how we going to die if y'all put that stuff here. Think about how we got to deal with the pollution from Philadelphia and from all over the place in Chester. We know what y'all trying to do. We ain't stupid. So don't try to act like fracking is good and LNG is good. Let's go green. Let's go green. Let's not act like we don't know what time it is. Because first of all, you destroying the planet. Ain't nobody going to be benefiting economically if the planet is gone. We all done. So you're not going to start here in Chester and destroying the planet and we down with it. It's not going to work that way. We not going to sign. We not co-signing that. So I want everybody to just know, be an environmentalist. If you're not, be one. Because you're saving the planet when you become knowledgeable about the things that's going on around you. When it comes to your environment, when it comes to your ecosystem, you have to have knowledge of that. Because you have people who don't care about that. And they'll kill you because they're going to destroy the planet. We can't let them destroy the planet.
No.
We can't let them do that.
No.
And they're going to start in our communities first. History, man, speak for itself, man. We know they don't care about us. We gotta care about us. We gotta care about our environment. We gotta care about the planet. We gotta protect it. And every time they come and they say they wanna build this and they wanna build that, guess what? Be knowledgeable about it. Because like somebody said, we're not anti-capitalism. But we are survivors. We are. You're not going to kill us because you want to make some money. We're not going to allow that. And that's why we standing here today. And everybody that's here today, we got to get 5 more people to come with us next time. We need more people. That's right. We got to wake everybody up. That's our job. A lot of people in our communities, they up to here in life, trying to provide for their children, trying to keep their children safe, and trying to make sure gun violence don't affect them, and all those things. So they up to here with it. So they don't have the time to get this kind of information. It's our job. We gotta inform them because this is just as important as everything else. If you don't have a safe environment, a healthy environment, you don't have anything. That's the foundation of a healthy home. It's a good environment. How you gonna have a good, healthy home if you can't breathe? Right? You can't provide for your family if your health is not up to par. So, all of us, is our job, because we know, we got to tell the people who don't know. And that's our job, and that's why I'm here today, and I'm going to always be here. Whenever Ms. Erlene called me, you're going to see the yellow shirt. I will be here. Thank you.
Thank you, Shamar. We have a last speaker who's going to bring all this home for us. He's another representative from our next door community, Eastwick. As he says, Eastwick is Chester. They're right next door to each other. Everything that happens in Chester happens in Eastwick. And Eastwick has its own burdens. And he's here to tell you why he's here to fight LNG. Earl Wilson, the head of the Friends and Neighbors Coalition of Eastwick.
It's indeed a pleasure to see and feel the vibrations of people who are definitely concerned about their lives, their livelihood, their relatives, their neighbors and friends. My name is Earl Wilson. I'm a resident of Eastwick, Southwest Philadelphia, which is approximately 3 miles from Chester. So, as far as I'm concerned, we are in the same neighborhood. And whatever affects Chester is definitely going to affect Philadelphia.
Right.
When I heard about the LNG, apparently the powers to be up trying to plan it into Chester, I said to myself, 9 times out of 10, folks, we have to realize that we cannot stand by and allow this to happen. Because at one point, this situation was definitely earmarked for the rivers around Philadelphia. And I think the powers to be realized at that point in time that Eastwick Friends and Neighbors Coalition, my organization, and a number of other organizations, including Philly Pride, were definitely gearing up to resist exactly what was going on in that area. And they wanted to make absolutely sure. So when they felt the pressure from those who are actually resisting what was going on, the powers to be then said, well, let's go to the point of least resistance. Let's move it into Chester.
They trying.
And I am so glad when I saw the turnout today, and I felt the feelings from those who were speaking on behalf of the Chester residents. I said to myself, you're barking up the wrong tree, folks. Because Chester also is not going to put up with your nonsense. They're not going to put up with you moving into its community, into its neighborhood, and thinking that you're going to sit back, lay down, and not take advantage of what's going on. The fact of the matter is, Chester needs to know that Chester is not alone in this particular fight. And this is the reason why when I heard the opportunity for us to come up with EF&C to come out and talk with on behalf of Chester, I said to myself, this is something that I just could not afford to miss. We want Chester and we want Circle, because I know you've been in this fight for a long time. You remind me so much of what we've done in Philadelphia itself. And we want you to know that you're not standing alone, that Eastwick Friends and Neighbors Coalition and a number of the other organizations will be right here in your corner.
Thank you.
Because whatever affects you, 3 miles when it comes to Mother Nature is no distance at all. And any kind of pollution that's happening in Chester, especially when it comes to the actual burning of the trash, amazing. It is amazing to know that the pollution and the toxic air is definitely going to, at one point or another, affect Philadelphia. So make absolutely sure, folks, that we want to make up that we want to be in your corner, working on your behalf, doing exactly what's necessary to make sure that, and this is for Circle, quality of life is extremely important. We will not be able to achieve that particular goal if we do not work together to make absolutely sure, because there are those out there looking for the big bucks, but never wanting to they want to make absolutely sure that the negative stuff is not going to affect them and their community. They don't mind putting a toxic facility in your community and then suck out from your community the economic benefits and leaving you with the crumbs from the tables, in so many words. So make absolutely sure that you understand that you're not alone. We're going to be fighting right along with you, and you should let us know exactly what's going on so that we can at least join hands, because this is not going to be just a community situation. This is going to be spreading out beyond your community and different areas, different states, and different parts of the country. And it's going to be extremely important for us to be able to follow through and make sure that we do what's necessary to make life a little bit better for everybody. I appreciate the opportunity. You know, I've been fighting this thing now for in a number of different occasions for at least 30 years. I'm prepared to do 30 more. But we need to make sure that we not only just follow through on this, but to make sure that everything is perfect. And we want to make absolutely sure that Chester and those people who are in the surrounding area are definitely a part of this endeavor.
Thank you.
I just want to acknowledge somebody. I'm going to give her 1 minute because she drove all the way up here from Washington to support Chester residents concerned with quality of living. We're going to ask for Carrie Fulton to come on over. Come on over. Come on over.
Come on over. Go ahead, Carrie.
Hi, how y'all doing?
Hi.
I just came here. My name is Carrie Fulton. I'm the organizing director with a new initiative called Center for Oil and Gas Organizing. And what we do is we work with communities who are impacted by the oil and gas industry across the country. And we've been working with a campaign called Frontlines to FERC, where we've been working with community members who are being taken advantage of by these liquefied natural gas export companies who want to take over, who want to devastate our environments, and we're saying no. And we're asking our Federal Energy Regulatory Commission, the agency that grants permits for these decisions, to also say absolutely not. So we stand in solidarity with the residents of Chester, Pennsylvania, and with all the residents who are impacted, especially down in the Gulf South, where we have community members who are inundated with these existing plants. So we're saying absolutely not. And also to our folk in Baltimore who are also impacted by LNG export facilities. So we are saying no. Once again, it's Frontlines to FERC at Frontline Speak. If you all are interested, on September 21st is the next FERC open meeting. Please come down to DC, join us in front with other community members as we say no more LNG exports. Thank you, and I'm so excited to see all this and see all y'all are doing.
On behalf of Delaware Riverkeeper Network, myself, Tracy Carluccio, Maya Van Rossum, we thank everybody for staying for the press conference after a long day. We had about 150 people, maybe even more. And they thought they were going to put this on a couple of weeks when everybody in the world was on vacation, in the middle of a work week at 10 o'clock in the morning, to make it so nobody would show up. We showed them they were wrong. Their time is our uptime, and we're here today to say, united we will stand, no LNG, no way, nowhere. Thank you.